And gentlemen, it's indeed a pleasure for me to be here with you this evening to bring to you from Canada some of the things that happened to us with the introduction of GMOs by Monsanto in 1996. There have been many issues that have been brought up in the last couple of days, and such as economic issues, the coexistence issue, containment, can GMOs be called back out of the environment once they've been introduced, seed costs, contracts, and so on. But I believe there's an issue that has not been really addressed, partially maybe addressed, but the fact is what we call back home now in Canada, the whole new culture of fear. Fear by policies and programs have been brought out and up by Monsanto especially. I listed some of the fears that farmers have when you're dealing with a corporation such as Monsanto. And to give you some of these fears rising from is the whole issue of Monsanto has a very large own investigation or police force. A lot of people don't know about that. In my particular region, Monsanto has 25 former Royal Canadian Mounted Police officers on their payroll. And all they do is do investigation for Monsanto, and this causes many, many problems in that police force, or I should say investigation. To give you an example, what is done is that they'll advertise, Monsanto will advertise in the local newspapers or even large newspapers, in some places radio stations, that if you think your neighbor is growing Monsanto's GMOs without a license from them, you should inform Monsanto about this situation. If a farmer happens to do that to his neighbor, Monsanto will pay that farmer or give that farmer a gift. In Western Canada, it's primarily chemical or a Monsanto leather jacket. Believe me, there's not many Monsanto leather jackets being worn in Western Canada. But what has happened is that when Monsanto receives this information, they immediately send two of their officers or investigators out to a farmer's home. And I'll give you an example of one farmer and his wife who gave me this information. They said that they were organic farmers to begin with, and two of these investigators arrived at the door one day and said, we have this information that you're growing Monsanto's GMOs without a license from us. And the farmer said, we're organic farmers, we're conventional farmers, but we don't use GMOs. Investigators will say you're lying, if you don't confess, we'll take you to court and you won't have a farm left by the time we're through with you. So what happens is this: when these investigators leave a farmer's home, a farmer will think, what neighbor has done this to me? Who has caused me all this trouble? And now you have suspicion, farmers not trusting one another, farmers not having coffee together or talking about their farming program. So this has caused a real social breakdown of our fabric. Years ago, I'm only a third generation Canadian, and our fathers, our grandfathers had to work hard to build our country, to build our schools, hospitals, churches, infrastructure, and so on. And now because of that, you have a social breakdown of our social fabric because of the policies of Monsanto. So that's just one issue, how the breakdown of our world culture is what's happening to it because of Monsanto's contracts. There's another very important thing is what they also do. If a farmer has said something negative about Monsanto, I'll guarantee you that they'll send a letter, what we call an extortion letter, to a farmer and state, we have reason to believe that you are growing approximately 500 acres or 1,000 hectares or whatever without a license for us. In lieu of us not taking you to court, send us $200 or $2,000, $7,000. I have a letter from a farmer shows $750,000. Can you imagine the concern in a farm family when you get a letter from a corporation as big as Monsanto and say, send us $700,000 within 2 weeks' time, or we may or may not take you to court. So these are some of the policies that Monsanto is using to subdue farmers, especially. So farmers are scared to say anything or even try and take Monsanto to court, which very few farmers can afford to do.